Hello. I get this question a lot in my DMs and on Twitter in general, so I thought I made a video talking about the only tools I use to go viral on YouTube consistently. This makes my clients a shit ton of money. It makes me a decent amount of money. And these are the tools that I think are necessary in today's day and age. And I say necessary in a quite literal sense that without them, you are probably losing a good degree. So let's talk about this. This is one of 10. It's my favorite tool. I use this every single day, probably 4 to 8 hours a day. I'm using this folder, which is the trackers folder, which will load. And for example, let's say if I just go to wherever my couch co-op folder is, I can kind of show you exactly how I get around to doing this, why I do it, and what that looks like. So here's the couch co-op folder down here. I obviously run a video essay channel called Couch Co-op. And the reason why I like this so much is I can go to filter, I can do last 6 months, I can sort by, let's say, views here, and I can see what videos are doing the best by views in the last 6 months, and I can get a general idea of how the market is feeling. I can also do score, which is another good way. This just shows the outlier score in the last 6 months for some of the channels here, and I can figure out that, these specific videos by Relo keep coming up over and over again. Luke Steffens keeps coming up over and over again, specifically talking about Assassin's Creed. So there's a pretty good potential that I can make an Assassin's Creed video there. From there, again, if I go to, let's just say by views or by date, I can see the videos that are doing the best in the last, let's say week, across all the channels that I have in here, which is roughly 48 channels so far. And I can see what ones are doing well and why they're doing well. And then I can make content around that. Outside of that, I can also go to bookmarks. So I don't have any bookmarks on this specific account, but I can see what thumbnails are doing well. I can go find, I want to see more thumbnails like this. It'll show me more thumbnails in the sports related niche. If I go back to bookmarks and I do thumbnails, I can do, let's say, thumbnails like this specifically, and it'll show me more of these thumbnails in the 7 levels format. So this is a tool that I think everyone needs. You can also do idea generator here. I don't use this because I don't need it. If you're a new creator, this will probably be pretty useful. I also have title gen. This is something I do actively use for my channels. And then thumbnail generator, which is a good way to concept. Again, this is probably a tool more suited for beginners, not so much useful for me. But I can do this for across basically every channel. For example, this channel right here, the Vex Effect, I can see what videos are working the best, and I can make content around those specific videos as to why they're doing well, or I can inspire from them. This is a tool I use for all my clients. It's a tool I use for myself. It's a tool I constantly use because guess what? It's really, really, really good. From there, I have NextLev. NextLev, there's 2 different tools for NextLev. You have the niche finder. You have the actual website, which is really, 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 really good. I don't have an account for the actual website. I do have an account. I'm just not logged into it. I'm logged into my personal account, which I don't have, but this is a tool I actively use. And the reason why I know I use it is because if I go here to my homepage, I have the NextLev extension, which is the best, it's just by far the best extension you can have on YouTube. It's not even close. The reason why, let's just talk about some of the things that you can use on NextLev. Boom, I can scroll over this little thing right here. It'll show me the latest videos. I can also see the most popular videos from this channel. From there, let's say I want to save it. I can just click this. I can screenshot it. I can copy the title. I can then also see similar thumbnails. If I click this, for example, it should open similar thumbnails, and it'll show me all the similar thumbnails as long as I have a NextLev subscription, which I do on a different account, so maybe it'll show it, maybe it won't. But this is something I actively use pretty often. And then the biggest one is save to the swipe file. I can save this here to a custom swipe file for stuff that I like, which is something that I highly recommend. I use it pretty much ad nauseum. As you can see all the similar thumbnails to the one I just saw, which is all going to be text-based thumbnails. Then from there, script writing. Now, this is a tool I don't actively use right now. I need to keep it a buck. I don't actively use this tool. This is Subscriber. This is something I've used in the past. They just launched their V3, which is why I'm kind of including this in here, because the V3 is brand new and it's incredibly useful. It's very good. From basically everyone I've talked to who's used the V3 privately, it is insane. So from there, you can add your channels. You can then write scripts around those channels. I've done this. I've tried doing it. I've had good results, but I've not had results back on the V2 model that I thought were better for what I was doing than just having a scriptwriter and paying a scriptwriter. This is cheaper than paying a scriptwriter, which is nice. And if you are doing something that doesn't require a lot of context, that isn't super niche specific, I'm doing very niche video essay stuff. What would make sense is a more broad stuff that tends to perform really well here. And I have friends who personally use this tool that make anywhere between $20,000 to $30,000 a month off of YouTube ad revenue from scripts generated with Subscriber. And with the V3 model, which is the most advanced model yet, trained on actual human written scripts, as well as a custom AI tool and generator. I find this to be something that is a no-brainer if you're a solo operator, or if you're operating multiple channels and you don't want to have capital allocation to dedicated scriptwriters. Having this is way better in terms of alternative. You also get a lot more control with what you want in terms of when you get things. There's a big complaint with most scriptwriters that use AI anyway, and they tend to be late and lazy. This is not necessarily the case. You are the one in control, which is why I technically like it and why I'm probably going to be using V3 with some of the stuff going forward. And then lastly is custom tools. This is Lovable. This is a AI, like, I don't know, like builder, like it's a vibe coder, it's a no code tool. I use this to generate custom tools for clients. So I have like custom data sets here. I can just load this data set. I'm not like revealing anything crazy, and I can see like, you know, what specific videos are doing the best. This is a backend I do. Do I recommend you build something similar? Probably not if you're not a top 0.01% YouTuber. There's a lot of tools that you can use. I'm going to build a comment scraping tool from this in the future to generate reports for my channel. So for example, if I do like, this is my channel couch co-op right here, like I can go through here, I can look at all the comments on these channels, and I can figure out what we need to improve on and what our weakest areas are based on user feedback, or I guess you could say viewer feedback in this case. And I can build SOPs around that for my editing team and my scriptwriter. So like those are the tools that I'm using on a day-to-day basis. Not so much, let's say, Subscriber at the moment. That's something I'm going to integrate into my stack, something I've had experience with before. But 1 of 10 every single day. NextLive, specifically their paid extension, which is like $10 a month, I use all of the time because it's so unbelievably good. And then lastly, something else that I am using, which I can show here, is the Dojo. It is the Discord that I'm a part of. I host weekly calls in here, but it's also just kind of good. I've cleared all the chats out, but to just figure out like, okay, like, you know, let's ask the senseis anything about thumbnails. You can get thumbnail feedback here and there, which is pretty good. And then also I want to shout out one other Discord. This is the Investor Kitchen. This is something else I use. These guys are crushing. There's like some unbelievably insane stuff going on in here. So one day, hopefully, this will be opened up to the public. Right now, there's like just private invites. So if you want one, I can invite you. But it's a paid thing. It's like $80 a month, or no, I think it's like $50 a month for this. 1 of 10 is anywhere between like $20 a month to $50 a month, depending on what you're using, your use case are. Obviously, YouTube is free. This is the most OP tool. It's just the YouTube homepage. The NextLive extension is like $10 a month. It's like basically the best extension you can use. There's another new extension that just came out called New Studio, which basically overhauls your YouTube studio into a custom dashboard. You can move tiles around and you can get certain things that I think is pretty useful as well. That I don't know if it's paid or free, but I do know it's an extension that I plan to integrate this week across all my channels just to see what's going on. And then building custom channels with Lovable, or building custom tools with Lovable, like my Dex analytical dashboard, which is incredibly useful. That I find, but that's like 0.001% of stuff YouTubers wise. I thought I'd just make this video. If you want any of the tools, link in the description. I'm affiliated with most of them in some way, shape, or form. So I do get some schmeckies if you want to use them. If you don't want to use them, that's fine. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, you could grow a successful YouTube channel without any of these tools at all. This just shortcuts success for most cases. It also speeds up production times. It also gives you an unfair advantage in terms of knowing what works and why it's working. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw those out there because I get this question all the time. So let this be, you know, the de facto video I can point you to in terms of the tools I'm using. The tools I'm seeing are working right now across the industry. There's also other tools if you don't want to use, let's say, you know, NextLive. There's other niche finders like TubeFinder, but I think NextLive is the best with the best team. So therefore, I'm putting my eggs in that basket because I know the team behind it, and I also use their extension because it's just the best extension, and therefore I can assume that the tool on a broad basis that I no longer use because I don't really need to. I have my own kind of system for finding niches is really good, and I know for a fact it's really good because again, I have friends who use NextLive to find niches to print money. So yeah, those are all the tools I use. Hopefully, this is a useful video, and again, if you want to access any of them, link in the description below.